Welcome to Property Guide, powered by Property Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. This week, we're taking a very close look at the NCR, the National Capital Region that desperately needs attention from its governments. Now, there's a reason why we're bringing this up on this show, because on Property Now, our focus is your real estate investments. And when we look at a particular city, and the city that you're investing in, and it's plagued with problems of pollution, of erratic water and electricity supply, it affects that city's ability to attract business. And as a result, it affects the price of homes and it affects your real estate investment. What we're going to do with this week's episode is create a platform where stakeholders can talk about the plans for the NCR, all of the possible solutions that they're offering the NCR. And if you as a citizen would like to add something, tweet it out, #attention for NCR, and we will take it up on this show. You can also send us an email. There's an email ID at the bottom of your screen right now. Joining me on the show this week to talk about what's wrong and what the solutions are in the NCR, Gaurav Bhatia, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Ashish Khaitan, Vice Chairman of the Delhi Dialogue Commission, Pramod Bhasin, founder and former chief of Genpact, who brings in the industry perspective, and Navin M Raheja, the CMD of Raheja Developers, who brings in the builder perspective and the real estate perspective on this show. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to start first with Ashish Khaitan. Ashish, tell me simply this. For me, from my point of view as a citizen, the thing that's most glaring about Delhi is the pollution. What are you doing right now to tackle that main problem where the air that we breathe is just not good enough, it's just not enough? What excuse do we have for our nation's capital to be that polluted? Tell us what the government is doing.
The biggest thing that we are doing is to improve the public transport system. We want to make the bus transit system in Delhi absolutely world class. And we believe that only if we make the bus system, the metro system, the last mile connectivity absolutely world class, that people would opt for public transport and prefer buses or underground over their private vehicles.
If you're telling me that you're going to give me a world-class, public transport system in Delhi, I want deadlines. I want details on what these plans are and how long it's going to take before something like this actually comes to pass.
Actually, the biggest accusation against us always has been that we are in a hurry. So we too want deadlines, but there are multiplicity of authorities in Delhi, unfortunately. We need land from DDA for bus depots, and before we have bus depots, we cannot put more buses on the road, but we are indulging in disruptive thinking. So very soon, you will see more buses on the roads, whether they are directly procured by DTs.
Mr. Khaitan, very soon is not good enough for me. Very soon is not good enough for me. That is not a timeline. Give me a timeline of when we can actually see this happen. And when you say buses, where is the space on the roads? Where is the, the BRT that you're going to fix or overhaul or somehow, bring back to life from where it is right now?
See, as far as the BRT is concerned, BRT was a failure because it was implemented in an ill-designed manner and only on a 4.5 kilometer stretch. We have around 1200 odd kilometers of PWD roads. All the PWD roads which are under the control of the government of NCT of Delhi are going to be redesigned, and there will be enough space for buses, there will be enough space for pedestrians, and there will be enough space for cyclists.
Mr. Khaitan, you still haven't given me a deadline. Give me a timeline or a deadline on what you're working on.
See, this government has got the mandate of 5 years. We are in hurry. As I said, this year itself in our budget, we have made a provision which is roughly around 2,000 crore rupees for public transportation. We want to add more fleet. The government is working over time, working day in, day out, and very soon you will start seeing results on the ground.
All right, very soon is the deadline that we're working with on public transport in the NCR region, in Delhi in particular. I want to bring in Pramod Bhasin. Pramod, you were listening to the answer that Ashish Khaitan just gave us. Is that a good enough answer for you as someone who is from both the business community and a citizen of the NCR? What are your chief problems? You look at the Delhi region, what would you like the government to focus on?
I think there's so many huge problems here that I agree with you. Pushing for a deadline is very important because frankly, these multiplicity of authorities have existed for years, and the average citizen suffers incredibly hard behind it. Can we have payments? Can we behave like a civilized city? Can we give our people pavements to walk on? 2, simple traffic management. Every city in the world has a huge amount of traffic. Delhi's density of traffic is much lower than many other cities. So I think traffic management as a whole, and there's no need for us to wait for 5 years for this, please. You can solve it through better driving license arrangements. You can solve it by enforcing discipline on the roads much better. You can solve it by making sure that people follow lanes, etc. Just these things. You need to do buses, but it isn't going to solve anything. Two, I would say, to us, it's all about law and order. Frankly, at this point in time,
Okay.
we see people.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you there because I want to
Yep.
take these points that you just brought up one by one to Ashish Khaitan. First of all, can we get our pavements back? Can it be a more civil city? I mean, that will involve change of behavior in Delhi, which is a much larger plan. And also, most importantly, can we somehow bring the law and order situation into focus one more time? Ashish, can you tell us how long it will take to do this and if this is something that's already on the government's radar?
You have to understand the design of the power that exists in Delhi. Law and order and traffic police is with the Ministry of Home Affairs. So there is very little that we can do. In fact, we can now do anything when it comes to regulating traffic and law and order. Now, as far as the 1200 odd kilometers of the roads which comes directly under the jurisdiction of the government of NCT of Delhi, all roads are going to be redesigned. Now it takes time to redesign because the consultants are working, they are working overtime to redesign the roads.
Okay,
That's our priority.
We seem to be circling back to the multiplicity of authorities in Delhi, the fact that it's difficult to get anybody to sit down and actually work on a plan together. But I want to bring in Gaurav Bhatia, who's the spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, which is the UP government, which is looking after Noida, Greater Noida. Well, Gaurav Bhatia, answer me this. We spoke to citizens of Noida. They had three main problems. One was traffic going in and out of Noida for someone who works in Delhi. The other one was interaction with law in Noida, where they felt that the local UP police just doesn't understand the kind of demographic that lives in Noida. And they wanted to know, are you considering perhaps creating a special force that has the ability to manage the people in Noida? Is this something that you're considering? Will Noida eventually be part of Delhi? Will it remain part of UP? Tell us what the government is thinking right now. Communicate with your people. Tell us what the plans are.
Absolutely. I would first of all like to talk about Noida itself, and not too many people would be aware that Noida is a special township that has been created under the Industrial Development Area Act. What does it mean? It means that any development that would take place in Noida would be planned development. And everyone would agree with me that if we go to Noida, the kind of infrastructure connectivity that it offers, be it the DND or the expressway that we see, Noida and Greater Noida Expressway, the roads are wide, and we were just talking about problems that are being seen in Delhi. These problems are not there to the same extent in Noida because of better planning that we have seen there.
But Mr. Bhatia, Noida has its own set of problems. Its problems of law and order, its problems of women's safety, its problems of electricity and water supply.
I wouldn't agree Noida doesn't have traffic problems. It has all the traffic problems.
Law and order and traffic management are two issues that you have raised, and I would like to address that.
Please do.
I did my homework. Yeah, I did my homework before coming here. And I'm very happy to inform that as of now, we also feel there is a shortage of traffic police personnel in Noida. And there has been a demand, and there is a collective effort from Noida Authority and the state government to recruit 10 times more the police constables that are available right now. Right now, I've been told there are only 100, and Noida is expanding in a big way. So within a period of 6 months to 9 months, because you were talking about timeline, so I would rather be specific, we would be seeing that there would be a tremendous increase in the manpower that would solve the problem of traffic management. A central control room that would be first of its kind is being set up in Noida. That project would come up within 6 months, and I think that would be a real check on ensuring that law and order remains under control and the crime comes down.
Okay, Mr. Bhatia, those are great deadlines. Thank you for giving us deadlines. But
no,
I want to be, may I be completely honest with you? May I be completely honest with you? This is what I heard from citizens of Noida who turned around and said, you know what? I am uncomfortable speaking with the local police. I would never want to file a complaint with the local police because they don't understand me. They're not from the same demographic. We're not comfortable dealing with the local governance and the local law and order. So while you're telling me that you're going to add more constables to the force, are you doing anything to sensitize your existing force to the kind of people that they're policing?
If for any reason, any resident of Noida, and not just Noida, any resident of the state feels uncomfortable acting with the police, I think it is our duty to ensure that the police is sensitized. A lot of steps have been taken in the right direction, and the current SSP, Mr. Praten Singh, happens to be a very efficient officer. I have interacted with him, and the good part is that our response time is now less than 7 minutes. It's the best in the country. And these are the kind of changes we need to assure citizens of Noida that the police there would be world class.
All right, 6 months is a deadline to clear shortage of police constables for traffic and of course to put in central control rooms for the police. That's Gaurav Bhatia from the Samajwadi Party. We have to take a quick break, but when I come back, we're going to go to both Pramod Bhasin and to Navin Raheja to find out how business feels about what's going on in the NCR and what business like on the checklist for the government. That's on the other side. If you have an opinion as a citizen, feel free to tweet it out. Hashtag attention for the NCR. That's on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Property Guide on Property Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for staying with us. Focus very clearly on the NCR this week and the problems that we're facing in our nation's capital and the governments that are fighting those problems and finding solutions for us. I want to bring in Navin Raheja. Navin, tell us from a point of view of a developer, we've seen lots of problems with the NCR. In fact, it is the weakest market right now from where we're looking at it. If you were to put down a checklist that would help you build better homes, faster homes, ease out the process for the government right now, what would that be?
See, one thing we were talking about infrastructure. It is unfortunate that, the main suffering which is coming is because of lack of infrastructure, which has not able to keep pace with the developments which have happened in NCR. But when you look at infrastructure, just now for your interview, it took me 2 hours to come from Gurgaon to Delhi, to reach in time.
We seem to be coming back. We seem to be coming back to the traffic problem. Ashish Kaithan, this is true. If one lands in the Delhi airport and then attempts to drive to Noida at any given point of the day, you're talking about upwards of 2 hours. And I'm not surprised then, like Navin Raheja said, that it would just add to the kind of stress that people feel when they're driving through Delhi. There has to be a solution. Are you looking perhaps at a second airport? Are you looking at speeding up construction of the metro? What are you looking at particularly right now? Where are the solutions that the government is at to provide infrastructure, to provide better housing, to provide, a better quality of life to the people of Delhi?
Okay, so the next time somebody lands, this is our vision. The vision is that 4 years down the line and 5 years down the line, when somebody lands in Delhi, there should be a billboard welcoming him that you have just landed in the safest, the cleanest and the smartest city in the country. That's a metro is expanding. The third and the fourth phase of the metro are underway. Along the Dhulakua road, you are seeing a new metro which is coming up. There is a new metro line which is going to open up very soon, which is going to connect Mayur Vihar to Lajpat Nagar to GK and so on. Metro is expanding. But at the same time, buses. Now, buses is where we have been deficient. In fact, awfully deficient.
Okay. And so actually, just tell me this. Just tell me this. If I were to land in Delhi Airport and my office is in Noida, and if I were to get from Delhi Airport to Noida just on the metro, how long is that going to take us to achieve?
Metro anyway today, if you are traveling from airport to Connaught Place, I think it takes you anywhere between 40 to 45 minutes. If you metro line. From there, travel time back home should be cut shorter, and this is where we are working. Within Delhi, we are trying to improve last mile connectivity and the bus transport system.
All right, Pramod Bhasin, come in here and tell me what businesses are feeling right now, businesses who function out of the NCR region, water supply, electricity supply, traffic, all of those things that come in the way of productivity. If someone were to ask you, should I put an office in Noida, in Gurgaon, in Delhi, or should I look at Pune, what advice would you give them right now?
I know we say in Noida we have great infrastructure, but we don't. I mean, we have traffic nightmares there. We have lots of garbage issues on the way there, on the way here. The overall quality of life in our cities is deteriorating. Let's not avoid that one thing. We can couch it in 20 ways that we are planning to do this, planning to do that. But one, the overall quality of life is deteriorating. And I appreciate that we're adding more police force, etc., etc. But most women are very uncomfortable going and talking at the ground level, not at the senior level. For instance, in Gurgaon, I will tell you, we have a wonderful police commissioner here who's most helpful to all of us. And yet at the ground level, they sometimes have a hard time. Women have a hard time trusting.
Okay, all right. Ashish Khaitan, I want to pick on only one of those points that I think is top of mind right now, and this is something we've heard from citizens. And Gaurav Bhatia, I expect you to answer this question as well. There is that fantastic metro line in Delhi. It is fantastic, but women are uncomfortable getting in and out of it. Once I get to the metro, I step out of the metro station, I'm back on the streets of Delhi. Who look to me then? Women are still uncomfortable taking the metro because at the end of the day, what happens outside of those metro stations makes them uncomfortable. What are you doing for women's safety in the city of Delhi?
So yes, I completely agree with you that outside the metro environs, women do not feel as secure as they feel within the metro station, and this is what we are working on. More CCTV cameras. We want almost all public spaces, public roads, neighborhoods to be covered by CCTV cameras. CCTV cameras is one too. You know that we have deployed marshals, we have home guards under us. We don't have
tell me
police
soon,
under us.
Ashish Khaitan. Don't tell me soon. Give me a deadline. Give me a date.
No, I'm surprised why this soon and don't tell me soon. This is a 6-month-old government. I'm sorry. I'm sorry with this.
But you have a timeline in mind.
I'm
it's fair that you have a 6-month-old government.
No.
But when you make a plan, and anybody who runs a business will tell you, when you make a plan and you don't put a deadline.
What are you talking of? What are you talking of? A 6-month-old government is taking stock of the situation, is working
I'm very happy
day
that
in,
you're
day
taking
out,
decisions. But if you're taking decisions and you've made a plan, you have to have a deadline. There must be a timeline you're working with. How can very soon be an acceptable timeline?
What do you mean? Have you traveled in DTC bus of late? You will find bus marshals on DTC buses. There are marshals deployed on almost every DTC bus.
Pramod Basir, is very soon an acceptable deadline in your business when someone comes up to you and says, yes, I'll get this done, I'll get it done very soon.
I have not completed my point. I'm sorry. You cannot just switch over to other
okay, go on. Tell me the rest of your plan, Mr. Khaitan. Tell me the rest of your plan. The citizens are listening.
And have some patience and show some patience
I'm listening.
Out the plan.
Tell me the rest of your plan.
The plan is exactly as I said. It has been how many years? How many years we have been living in this city? Have you seen this city coming under CCTV coverage? CCTV, planning CCTV network, planning the whole architecture of CCTV network doesn't happen right. And we have been working, our IT department, our planning department have been working for the last 6 months to have the right architecture of CCTV cameras. And it will take some time. It cannot happen in 2 months. I can very easily say you that, okay, in the next 3 months there will be CCTV cameras. That's not good enough. I should be able to come on your show and say that, look, today we have installed 5,000, 10,000 CCTV cameras. And this is how the data is being analyzed. That's the kind of result I want to show, our government wants to show. We just don't want to, give you a pie in the sky and say that, no, 6 months down the line you will see a Paris in the middle of us. That's not the kind of discourse that we indulge in.
All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. If you want time, Pramod Basir, as a citizen, respond to that, please.
Well, I think, look, many of these are complex problems which take a lot of time and a lot of effort to do. Okay? So I think there's no question that within the complexity of those efforts, it becomes hard to always put it down. But I would really suggest that we start tackling some shorter term issues as well. May I suggest one thing? One, I would set expectation. Traffic is only going to get worse in our country. It's not going to get less. Number of cars are going to keep increasing, etc. But that doesn't mean it should be unsafe, illegal, unlawful, and rude and bad. That stuff can be controlled, and most cities around the world have managed to do it. It's about time we did it. Because today, I will tell you, the average citizen's life in India, in our cities, is becoming far worse.
Okay, I want to bring in Navin Raheja as well. You had something to add as a citizen and a businessman in the city of NCR. Tell us what's bothering you right now, and are you happy with the kind of plans you're hearing from the government?
No, let me tell you, we have to understand 2-3 things. I was listening to Ashish Khaitan Sahab. With due respect, Let me tell you, in Delhi mainly, we have the problem of heterogeneous traffic and traffic indiscipline. Please bring in bolt-based, tenders from outside. Try to create elevated platforms on bolt basis. These elevated roads can crisscross Delhi at 2, 3, 4 points, going till Noida to going till Gurgaon, which will work as fast expressways, toll roads. Coming to the water,
That's an offer
problem.
for a solution coming from a businessman, Ashish Khetan. Gaurav Bhatia told us that Noida is beefing up its police to manage traffic. We just had right now 2 businessmen offer you possible solutions. Are you open to taking on these solutions and working with them?
I do appreciate that the enforcement of traffic laws and rules and regulations is absolutely abysmal, and I completely appreciate that. We all go through this horrendous experience every day on the roads of Delhi. We are working on it. We are trying to strengthen the laws and regulations and maybe make the traffic violations more prohibitive. At the same time, the traffic police also needs to get its house in order. The Delhi police needs to pull up its socks, and I'm quite confident and hopeful that considering the sentiment of the people of Delhi, being cognizant of the people of Delhi, the traffic police will carry out its job.
All right, I'm being told that I'm running out of time on this show, but gentlemen, I want a commitment from all 4 of you. Can we and may we reconvene this exact panel in 6 weeks to continue talking about these issues and keep all of these issues open? Ashish Khetan, will you come back after 6 weeks on this panel, and can we continue this dialogue?
Absolutely.
All right.
May I talk about just one thing to come back after 6 weeks?
Go ahead. We're always listening. Go ahead.
That is water recycling. I have a suggestion, and in the last meeting also on a forum with Mr. Sisodia, I had requested that you should try to implement colony level recycling, which is in most of the developed countries. Make them responsible RW to recycle water. That will give solution for Yamuna pollution as well. And the next thing is that when are they going to work for slum rehabilitation in Delhi, because there is 2022 housing for all? Will the Delhi remain dirty like this only, or are we going to bring about a change?
All right, slum rehabilitation, water, and of course traffic top of mind. If you have an issue as a citizen, write to us or tweet out #attention for NCR. Gaurav Bhatia, Ashish Khetan, Pramod Bhasin and Navin Raheja. We've run out of time, but we're going to come back in exactly 6 weeks, reconvene this panel and continue to attempt to find solutions for the problems of the NCR. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Drop us a question or an email if you have a problem with the NCR. We'll take it up on the next panel. Thank you for watching.